N-word dick. And he said he just like looked at her like horrified, and then he had the most intense orgasm of his entire life. I didn't feel that way though. Hello?
Hi.
Hey.
Uh, can we talk about veganism?
Yeah.
Um, I'm a big fan of vegan gains.
Yeah.
Uh, um, have you had a conversation with him yet?
No, I've never actually talked to him. We've DM'd and we've kind of talked about talking, but we never actually. I think I was like, I think I backed out because it felt like it just felt like debating somebody about something that they're really really emotional about, and it felt like it was gonna be a debate about like whether he's mentally ill. It just seemed like wrong and like it was gonna make us both feel and look bad.
Mm, well,
Like debating people about their own lifestyles just always feels bad and weird to me.
that's fair, but you could do it for the content.
No,
Mm,
I don't want to.
Well, I would really like to see that. Well, I guess we could talk about it if you want.
Uh,
Okay.
all of my streams say that I'm not online. That's so weird. The restream doc in OBS says I'm offline and on all of my platforms, but I don't think
Oh,
that's true. I think it's like broken. I am online. That's so weird. Okay. What do you want? What do you want? It's late. It's late.
all right. I'll just make it quick. So,
You don't have to
why?
make it quick. Just like start it quick. You know.
All right. Why aren't you vegan?
Because I like eating meat and it has good nutritional value and it is cheaper than getting the equivalent amount of protein from plants.
Okay. Um,
Pleasure, nutrition, money.
money aside, because there are definitely diets where you could eat tasty food. It would just require making it more, like preparing food instead of eating out. Like I eat well, not really. I eat at Chipotle and Taco Bell a lot. Um,
The
but yeah,
the protein to calorie ratio is quite expensive to reproduce with plants.
uh, okay, nutrition aside, um, like how much do you care about animals?
In what context? Like theoretically, or like an animal? Like if I see like if it was like, oh, you have to drive this fox 3 hours to an animal hospital or it's gonna die, I probably would.
Oh,
So my caring about animals is pretty inconsistent. But then if you're like, hey, we're serving fox legs in this weird restaurant in like Malaysia, do you want one? And I'd be like, I guess.
um, but
Some animals in my head are labeled as food. Not the entire species, but the animal specifically. I could never kill a cow. Like if you gave me a cow, I would never eat it.
um, is it just the fact that someone's doing it for you, so you don't get the
No, no, it's an actual genuine. Some animals are food, some animals are friends.
and how do you draw that line though?
I don't. It's automatic and emotional.
Do you think it should be? Like, do you want to live your life that way?
Yes.
if if I don't know. I feel like if I was talking to like a racist, I would try to appeal to kind of equalizing the different races to show that there's not really much of a difference. And then I would hope that they would just, you know, yeah.
Well, there are differences. You're saying that you would try to convince them the differences aren't genetic.
Well, that the differences don't matter. Like black skin versus white skin.
Well, the skin isn't why people are racist, according to them. It's because of behavior.
Um, yeah, I mean like true racists. Because if it's a fact of the matter thing, then you could easily disprove that, and then they would hopefully come to the other side. But with what you're doing, it seems like you're
How do
just
you if you get a bunch of black people together living in a city, the crime rate skyrockets. How do you disprove like why that is? Like, in black neighborhoods are less safe.
um I'm I would probably just say that it's some sort of social factor because there's no scientific consensus on, you know.
Well, so like, okay, I mean, do they care about that?
Yeah, they probably wouldn't. If you're They probably just care about the skin or whatever other quality that doesn't really.
The correlation, it's more correlation than cause. I think racist people talk about cause, but they probably care more about correlation.
Yeah, some emotional connection they have to it probably.
But I am racist with animals. I see the point you're making, and that might be true.
Um, and if I was talking to a racist vegan, I'd probably be making a parallel between uh, racism and veganism, like I'm doing here, but the other way around.
Yeah, but you're talking to a racist non-vegan, so there's no or I guess racist in the sense that you know what it is though? It's not racism. It's some people are my friends and some people aren't my friends. I guess I care about the lives of all people.
Yeah. The bottom line is, if you care about animals, you shouldn't. You should know that killing them is wrong.
I agree killing them is wrong.
So, do you think you're doing the wrong thing?
Yes. I'm doing it because I want to. I told you. Pleasure, money, and selfish nutrition.
I mean, I can't really. I I don't think you could say that you care about animals
But
and
I
then go
do.
and kill them.
I have cats. I care about some of them. Some animals are friends and some animals are food. I think this is a very consistent like framework I'm giving you. I don't think you'll be able to break it down.
But you
I
can be
think the problem with these like arguments is that you're always approaching it with like the idea that my views are not just based on how I feel, but they are. So then once I own that, then there isn't a way to argue with it. Some animals I feel like killing and eating or allowing other people to kill so I can eat them, and some animals I don't.
No, I agree that like if your values are set, then I can't really change your
It's not that
opinion.
they're set, it's that they are the thing that you would normally use to argue with a debate bro pointing to their feelings is my argument. So you can't discredit it if it is my argument that I just feel like eating some animals.
Um,
I also don't need to believe that everything I do is the most moral thing I could do, which is the other attack to say, well, don't you think that's wrong? And I'm like, yeah, kind of it is. I do think it's wrong. I think it's wrong to eat animals.
Uh,
And yet I do it because
okay.
I'm being selfish.
Would that
As soon as
always?
I would switch to lab grown meat as soon as I can. I will.
Um, eh, it's just what you're saying. Kind of sounds like if like you have slaves and somebody's making the argument that you shouldn't have slaves, blah 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 blah, and you're like, well, I just don't feel like picking the cotton.
Yes, it is identical to a slave owner's argument.
You can't be comfortable with that.
I am not totally comfortable with it, but I'm pretty comfortable. I eat about a pound of meat every day.
Can't you just, instead of being vegan, can't you at least limit it?
That is me limiting it.
Oh,
Oh, so much blood and meat. Bleh.
I mean, seriously, like, if humans were being sold as meat, um, would you just let um, your selfishness just so that you just wouldn't care and you'd just be eating humans?
No, I would storm the place where they were being sold with my fucking gun and put a stop to it. I would
Well, you
free
don't have
them.
to do that.
I would. If humans were being sold, if humans were being enslaved in my country, I would stop it.
Enslaved.
Yeah.
Um, but you wouldn't do that with
I wouldn't do that
actual
with what?
slaves, actual slaves.
What do you mean?
Because you say
Animals?
you say you would keep the slaves, like if you had slaves.
No, I didn't say that. I just said that my argument is identical to a slave owner's argument. I wouldn't keep slaves. People are friends, not food. Horses, cats, dogs are friends. Pigs are in between. Cows, mostly food. Chickens, almost all food.
Would there be any way I could, like, would you eat monkeys?
No,
So how it's just completely arbitrary?
I don't think you could say it's completely arbitrary. I think that you had an intuitive understanding that I would say no to that. That's why you said monkeys. If it was arbitrary, you wouldn't have been able to guess that.
Um, yeah, but it's only because they're not sold in the supermarket. Because you said that you wouldn't kill a cow yourself, but since it's already there, you'd buy it.
I would have a big problem with people selling dead monkeys in a supermarket. I don't
Like,
think monkeys should be kept in zoos. I think that's wrong.
so basically, you're just saying that I feel differently towards these animals and these animals.
Yeah,
So
and then
that's
and
it.
asking me why, all I can do is try to guess. I mean, obviously monkeys are closely related to humans, so that's probably why.
Um,
I don't
are
think
you
I would eat,
against
I wouldn't eat any primate.
them eating dogs in China? Because you said that if they offered you it, you would just eat it.
I'd eat a fox. I don't think I would eat a dog.
Uh,
I don't think it works for you to pretend that you're completely mystified by these different answers. I think you know the answers before you're asking the questions because you probably feel the same way too. I know that you feel it's not okay to eat any animal, but if you had to eat an animal, you'd probably eat a cow before you'd eat a dog, I would guess. You're not going to be like, I see no difference between eating that chicken sandwich and a monkey burger. I will eat either one. Like if someone holds a gun to your head and it's like, pick one. Do you want chicken nuggets or monkey nuggets? Like you're gonna have the chicken nuggets. Like so you feel the same way. You just aren't acting on it. It's almost like
um,
you're trying to externalize your own Like you're shutting down your own like evaluative sense of like what animals are okay to eat into me and then say that I'm crazy or wrong, but I know you feel the same way that I do. You have to.
Uh, if I felt the same way that you do, then I'd be eating meat.
Well, you put your threshold for what's an acceptable amount of like disregard for animal life at 0. But even within that threshold, like the 0 threshold, if you explore past it, I think you're clearly more okay with eating a chicken than a monkey, right? And that's how you know to ask me these questions, because you
Yeah,
actually do have the same hierarchy. So then
yeah,
it just seems disingenuous for you to be like, what's this hierarchy, when you share the hierarchy enough to know what to ask me about it, because you feel the fucking same way as me. You just set the threshold for okayness at 0.
yeah. I mean, I know your response. I'm asking the questions for you because I'd hope that you would like
Come to my
be like, oh,
senses.
yeah,
No, I'm going to eat them. I'm eating them with my eyes open. I know what I'm doing. I know that it's wrong, and I know that I'm eating them. I know that I'm murdering and enslaving animals because I want to.
but it's just not that wrong.
It is that wrong. However wrong you think it is, I also think it is. It's probably more that I'm being more selfish. I don't think we have an ideological disagreement about veganism.
Uh, I think our values are at a different place, so I think we would.
No, I just think I'm more selfish than you.
Yeah, you care less about animals and more about yourself.
Maybe I care the same about animals, but way more about myself. But relatively, I care more about myself compared to animals. I don't know why, but I don't think it's a value issue.
Uh, when are you going to talk to vegan gains?
I don't know.
Because like this kind of conversation, it
He'd probably
like
go on
if
the
you,
offensive at this point. I imagine he would go on the
yeah,
offensive and be like, "Well, yeah, well now I just think you're a piece of shit," or something.
well,
I don't know. I
oh
haven't watched
yeah,
that much of his content. I just imagine there would be an insult coming at this point.
yeah, which is what a lot of people would do to like if vegan gains was talking to a racist and the racist was just, oh, I just hate black skin, or not that I hate, I value black people, but I'm still going to have them as slaves because I'm selfish. I'm sure vegan gains would probably be insulting him too.
I agree. You wish vegan gains were here to insult me.
It might help
Help make me a vegan or help you feel better?
both.
That would be nice.
I just, it's
When
also,
doing the right thing feels good, it's nice.
yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It's also really easy.
What's tricky is when doing the wrong thing tastes good. Then
Well,
then you have a dilemma.
yeah, and the ones that do it to humans, they rape, they're in jail. Prison.
Yeah. What do you think about eating bugs? How do you feel about cricket eaters?
Um, I was an invertebrarian for a little bit, or um, basically veganism, but I'd eat invertebrates besides cephalopods.
No, octopi.
Yeah,
They're smart. I actually feel bad about eating an octopus because they're smart.
yeah, me too. I mean,
I don't.
cows are probably smarter.
Yeah, octopus is friend. Cow's food. I don't know why.
Ladybug is friend.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't eat. I wouldn't eat ladybug. I would rather eat a cow than a ladybug.
Yeah, you see how it's just the cultural, like, it's
Yes,
just
conditioning.
cultural. Yeah, why not just break free of it? Like, you know it's stupid, so why don't you just not be a part of it?
Because it's my identity. It's myself. It's not so easy to just break free of yourself. I don't even know what that means. I like ladybugs. That's part of who I am. That's me. It's not a thing that is on me. It is me.
But the more and more you realize how much of a little difference there is between like a one mammal and another mammal, I don't see how you could keep going. I feel guilty and embarrassed before I went vegan. Whenever I was eating like a burger,
I don't think about it much. You know, Shaylin was vegan when we met.
was
Mm-hmm.
why'd she stop?
Because I bought her some pizza. And then I gave her some chicken tendies.
And why would she just eat it?
And then, because she wants it.
Where are the principles that she had before?
I don't know.
What did you do to her?
I don't know. She was non-binary, poly, and vegan. And now she's a domesticated monogamous meat sucker.
Oh, you shouldn't be proud of that. You're smiling.
It's taken me a long time to be okay with being selfish sometimes. I am proud of it.
I mean, it's not the way you're saying it. It sounds like you're being courageous. It's not courageous.
To be selfish?
Yeah, it's it's a vice. Like you should strive to not be that. I don't know. You so clearly know. Like most people don't even think about it.
I think about it. Not that much, but I do think about it. You know what it is also? It's that I know that they're going to solve it with lab grown meat, and I'll just eat that.
But that's at the very least, you could support
You're,
that cause by not even going vegan, by just occasionally buying fake meat. That would immensely support the cause.
I think it's going to happen whatever I do in like 2 years.
I don't think it's going to happen that soon.
I think it is.
And also, it's still not virtuous.
Oh no.
Like,
Are you against lab grown meat?
no, not the lab grown meat. I mean, it's
You're gonna eat.
I
You're gonna eat. You're gonna have the best steak of your fucking life, aren't you?
um,
That lab grown shit. That
oh yeah,
wagyu.
yeah. I don't know. I feel like if you know it, every time you eat meat, you're probably going to think about it at least a little bit, and then you're gonna be like, oh, I could just instead of buying real butter, I buy fake butter,
But I'm
and
also proud of
slowly.
myself for it. That's. I think you're right. There's some part of me that's like proud of myself for being selfish. It's self care to murder and steal rape. There's some element of it that is self-love. You do that for me, Max?
I I feel like if I was arguing with someone else, like when I argue with my friend, um, it's more in the lines of, no, animals are different.
I don't think they're different. I feel like they're different, but I intellectually understand that we're animals. So
Yeah, you're way closer.
yeah, I think I think we're ideologically aligned, actually. There isn't anything that you're just like, oh, I should do that, but I don't.
They're totally, they're so different. Like you're trying to equalize it, but it's like there's so many analogies. I won't even bother.
All right, I think I gotta end the stream soon. So do you want to?
Oh yeah, please, please, please. I'll donate money if you talk to Vegan Gains. How much money?
10 million.
Um, why don't you? You could literally join his stream right now. His chat would be like, well, Mr. Girl wants to join, and then you could easily hop into. I've talked to Vegan Gains before.
Uh, I'm open to talking to him sometime. I just don't do it right now. But um I have some fondness for Vegan Gains. So not that that's like why I would talk to him, but like I'm not against the idea of talking to him. I think he's a smart guy, and I respect him. So I'm
Okay.
happy to talk to him at some point.
Is there like a little timeline that you might talk to him?
I don't know. We're both very cagey about how we set these things up, so I don't know.
All right. Well, I'll keep an eye out for it.
Maybe I'll have him on my podcast at some point.
Oh yeah, that would be. Wait. Where is the podcast?
On my Substack or on Spotify or Apple Podcast, anywhere podcasts are sold.
Okay. Yeah,
I
I'll
think
check that out.
Substack is probably the preferred platform at this point.
Okay. All right. Well, it was nice talking. Do you remember me, right?
I don't. I mean, I remember you generally. I don't remember what we talked about before.
Uh, okay, I'm. You get angry at me every single time because I'm talking about Destiny, and I'm kind of
Oh,
defending him a little bit.
okay.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah,
Well, I can't wait for the next one of those conversations too.
me too. Bye.
Bye. Uh, what would you say to an intelligent alien that wanted to eat you, like it's a delicacy for them to eat humans? Moo? I mean, what could I say? You're saying it's so much smarter than me that I'm doing the equivalent of just meowing when I talk. I probably just try to look cute and say say the most adorable thing I could. I would just be like, "Look at my little hands." I don't know. I mean, I'd just start throwing stuff out, see if anything worked. Back into streamer world. Yeah, there's another